Welcome back to the Jonny Shiell Hairdressing channel, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through the men's graduated layers. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step using the clippers, scissor over comb techniques, and how to customize the haircut to suit the client's head shape. So let's start off with step one. This is the blow dry. So working using a toe to heel technique, this is like a C curvature technique. We are using a grade 1 to start reducing the weight around the hairline. On removing the guard, we're now using the 1.75 with the taper up. Again, trying to promote a soft and beveled natural hairline. Again, using the grade 1 on its highest taper, I'm just beveling off the sideburns. And this is allowing me to maintain as much weight as possible through the temples. So moving on to the scissor over comb technique. I'm now using this technique as it's much more controlled to soften and feather and graduate the haircut into the temple and recession area. I'm using a comb from Salon Services, which is a jumbo comb. This is extremely flexible, extremely wide, with fine teeth, which allows me to get into little areas using the clippers or the scissors, or whatever technique I choose to use. It's a great way of graduating in the haircut. As you can see, working vertically and horizontally to check my sections off. Try and remove as much weight as I possibly can without compromising it any length. So I now move around to the other side where I'll repeat the process. One thing to note that I use in this haircut is a head torch. As you can see, this lights up the hair very, very well and allows me to see any graining, any graduation, any high spots, any heavy spots to soften off the haircut. Dark hair creates shadows. This can be a problem when you're using certain lighting areas. So wearing a head torch really does help me a lot to really correct what I can see. So my top technical tip for scissor over comb is making sure you have a fast thumb movement. This really does help keeping the balance of the blade on the bottom of the comb. If your fingers start to get too active, then the scissors and the comb start to become more jumpy, and this can create lines and gaps in the haircut. One of the things I used to practice when I was training was to hold the scissors in one hand and just use my thumb to open and close the scissors. This gave me a visual idea of what I was trying to create and was a great practice in becoming very disciplined in the scissor over comb technique. As you can see, angling the comb out at 45 degrees, this gives you a really good balance to maintain the weight on the top of the haircut. And moving into the detailers, these are wild detailers and they come with grades that are half grades, a grade 1 and a grade 1.5. Now moving on to the customization and personalizing technique. We're now going to be using the texturizing scissors to remove and reduce some of the weight through the top of the haircut. One thing to note, it's the same technique as the scissor over comb. The thumb is the driver for the technique. This allows me to keep a very steady and very disciplined technique all the way through the haircut. So the one thing I see when it comes to different hairdressers is when it comes to the texturizing techniques, especially using these scissors, there tends to be no pattern and a lot of chopping in different areas creates holes in the haircut. When you're texturizing, it is a very visual effect to the haircut, but always keep some discipline. As you can see, the amount of times I open and close my scissors gives me a visual feedback so that I'm able to count as much so I can continue that process all the way through. What you're starting to see now is the weight through the top starting to reduce and it's become a lot softer. This hair is extremely thick, so any weight or any patches that are left inconsistent will be amplified in a haircut like this. As you can see, pulling the hair out at 45 degrees to maintain the corner. I keep using that scissor over comb kind of technique by pulling the hair out at the same time. This is equal to feathering the hair off and creating a nice balance. This is something I've practiced and done for a long time, and as you can see, if you count the same amount of strokes that happen with the scissors, this is what's going to give the balance on both sides of the haircut. I'm always checking and investigating to see what the buildup of weight is, and if it's inconsistent, I like to cross-check it horizontally to feather this out to remove any holes, lines or buildup of weight. As you can see from the distance from the back to the front, you can see the difference in the weight. This is creating a much softer shape. Working off a forward diagonal section, this also helps me to maintain a 90-degree angle. My fingers are creating the 45-degree angle to maintain the weight, which resists me from going into my guideline. A slight bit of over direction from front to back just maintains that little bit of corner in the haircut. This will stop you from exposing the recession area. As you can see, this haircut is starting to fit better on this client's head shape. Removing that weight has been beneficial to the shape and the haircut. This will also help the client in manageability and longevity of the cut and finish. So I'm now working off the side parting. I'm just taking and alleviating a little bit of weight off that crown area and that side parting. Elevating the hair at 90 degrees and working round to the target. This allows me to just bevel off some shape without losing any length. Again, just note the consistency of the amount of times I close my scissors. This is reflected all the way through the haircut. Even though the technique is visual, this is going to promote a technical balance. We've worked from back to front, we're now going to work from side to side. We're going to elevate the hair up at 90 degrees and just cross-check our work, making sure that there's a balance with the texturizing scissors. I'm looking for any holes, any gaps, or any build-up of weight that I can remove before we go into the finishing process. So now we're going to work around the hairline, just checking off, making sure there's no loose bits, no edging that needs to be fixed and corrected. And using the point cutting technique, this is a great way of softening in any hair. Anything you've missed, it's all about the refinement process. So now we're getting really fussy. We're going to be using the detailers again to check off any hairs around the hairline. These are great clippers as the teeth are very fine and allow that extra bit of refinement and detailing when it comes to the edging of the haircut. Again, going into real detail with these types of tools and tricks, you're really going to help the way the hair grows out. This is also going to be encouraged when the client comes to doing their maintenance haircuts and helping you in the future to recreate this style again and again and again. This does come at a price. It will cost you more time in creating these results, but time is money, so make sure you charge accordingly for your time, as this is all beneficial to the end result. So moving into the finish, we use a wide tooth comb. This allows me to create a finger-like through finish, and I'm using a product from L'Oreal, and it's a very fine mist called Air Fix. This has a hold of 4. It's quite a strong hold, but it does leave a really nice natural finish on this hair type. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, anything you want to add to this video, feel free to leave it down in the comments section. Don't forget to share the video, like the video, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.